I'm going to clap for synchronization again just so you guys can hear me. I know we can hear each other right now. I am joined with Mike.
Hello.
Yeah. You probably haven't seen him in a while in the WAS Nation. A lot has happened since with both of us. Who do we start with?
Let's start with the pretty boy over there.
Careful, you might get jealous. That his wise man is glazing me for once.
Oh, well, we're both looking gorgeous now, don't worry.
Okay, so me, some of you may already know, but I got a hair transplant in Turkey, where most people go if they have senses, because Turkey is the place to go, in my opinion, and my result speaks for itself. I mean, this is your first time seeing my hair transplant in real life. What do you think?
It's outstanding. It really is. You look, although you're still you, I mean, you can see, obviously you look different, but you can see you're much more confident and much more happier, which is really good to see. You know, I'm sure all the boys out there would love it. Girls, sorry, the girls out there would love it. How do you feel? How do you feel about it?
Great.
Great.
No, seriously, great. Yeah, I mean, it made me look younger. It de-ages you by like 15 years. It's crazy what the hairline can do, man. My hairline was like on the middle of the top of my head. The only thing is, right now, this is still only about 50% of the final result.
Yeah.
Which is insane, because that means it's still going to get that much better. Every month is getting thicker, denser. Because after the hair transplant, the first 3 months is a shedding phase. So all the transplanted hairs just fall out for the first 3 months.
Right.
After the shedding phase is when the growth phase starts in the 4th month. And we are now currently in the 8th month. So we've had about 7th month just passed. So we've had about 4 months of growth.
Yeah.
So it's looking pretty good. And there's a timeline that shows it takes up to 12 months for final results. But people even see regrowth up until the 18th month.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. So what? Take me through the procedure. What actually happened?
Yeah, so what they do is, first of all, they can only take hair from the person themselves. So you wouldn't be able to take someone else's hair and get a hair transplant. You wouldn't be eligible, because it will just get rejected from the hair follicles. Yeah. The way it works. So what they do is they take hair from the back of the head, because the back of the head is resistible to DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone. So if you've seen in older people, like elderly, they still have this part of the hair most of the time. Yeah. Even though this is all gone. That's because it's resistant to DHT. So what they do is they take the donor area from the back and they implant it into the front.
With the actual scalp, or how do they take the hair?
So what they do first is they'll inject anesthesia all around the back to numb it, adrenaline all around the back, and then it will numb your head and they'll pull out individual grafts.
Ooh.
So they pulled out 4,100 grafts for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God you couldn't feel that.
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
I could feel it, but it didn't hurt. Like, I could feel it being pinched out.
Yeah.
Because it was numb. The only thing that does hurt is the initial anesthesia, and people are shook of that. Yeah. And when they were injecting the anesthesia, they were like to me, if you need a break, just let us know. And I wasn't going to let it get to me.
No.
I could feel every bit of it. But I was clenching my fists, I was like, I ain't reacting. And the nurses just kept saying, because they have an interpreter for you, like, who speaks English and Turkish, and the nurses kept saying, like, they kept commending me, like, how is this guy not reacting? Because they said people are literally screaming at this point.
Really?
Yeah. But I was like, if I stop, then it's just going to long out the process even more. Yeah. Just let it get done.
Well, I mean, if you can take a chair shot or a cane to the back and the head, and you can take a few hairs being pulled out.
Yeah, because to do pro wrestling, you need somewhat of a high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Because it's no joke.
Well, I mean, also, you're just so damn manly that,
Thanks. Anyway, so what they do is, after they've taken the grafts, they'll extract each follicular unit, and the procedure itself is called follicular unit extraction, FUE. And so after they've extracted these grafts, every graft is different. Some graft will hold 4 to 5 hairs, some will hold 1, some will hold 2. Then they'll inject it individually into the missing parts. So the thing with the hairline, if the hair follicle is completely dead, there's no way of bringing it back apart from having a hair transplant. People talk about like minoxidil medication, finasteride, but if the hair follicle itself is gone, you can't do that. If there's still a hair follicle there and it's fairly thinning, then you can use medication, but if it's gone, you can't. You have to get a hair transplant.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So you how did you find out about doing this?
So it was probably in the works for close to a year.
Yeah.
I was even about to go back in April 2024. I went to Turkey actually, and I had booked with a place called Smile Hair Clinic because I saw him on this YouTuber's video. He went to them.
Yeah.
But then last minute, everyone was trying to talk me out of it too. You know, like parents, they don't think you need it. Like, you don't need it. You can still get married. Like, you don't need it. But I was like, I need it. I ended up not getting it in April. But then November comes around and I find this place called Now Hair Time, which has 5 million followers on Instagram. I'm looking at the before and afters.
Yeah.
And they have probably the best before and afters I've seen. I'm like, if these are the transformations they're giving people, then why not go to the best that you can?
Absolutely.
For something like this, you can't go somewhere and take a risk and go somewhere cheap or somewhere that's not trustworthy or somewhere that's not going to give you the best results possible.
So after the procedure, did you have to stay in Turkey for a little while, or?
I stayed for 3 nights because the first night they take you for a blood test to check if you're eligible, if you can take the hair transplant. They talk you through it. They ask what you want. If you want to, some people have an issue with the crown rolling. Some people the hairline. Mine was the hairline. My crown. Luckily, at the moment, it's fine. It's never been an issue. So I was like, I want the hairline fixed. And the doctor didn't even touch my hair, but he looked at the back of my hair. He's like, he's got a good donor area. He'll get a good result. Because if you have a good donor area, the back of my hair is very thick even now.
Yeah.
So they're like, you'll get a good result. So the aim now is from this hair transplant, the back of my hair thickness will become the front of my hair thickness.
Right.
Once I get the full result, that's insane. Yeah. And so that was the first day. The second day, they do the actual hair transplant procedure, and they bandage like the back of your donor area. Then the third day, they take off the bandages and they do a wash for you. And then the same day, I think it is, in the evening, they send you back. And the transport's all covered. The hotel's covered in the package.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had like a whole package holiday with
5-star hotel, full VIP transport,
nice.
and the hair transplant. Yeah.
Do you want to share how much that cost, or
2.4k? It's nothing.
Is that
crazy.
it?
Exactly.
That's it.
That includes the hair transplant.
Oh my god!
Like 2.4k, I would pay just for the hair transplant.
Yeah.
Everything else was extra.
If you had the flights and the hotel into that.
Not the flights. The flights were separate, but they were only like £50. It was during November.
Okay, so minus what is that return? £50 return.
Yeah.
So like 50 quid minus that, you know, so 2.4. That's nothing, is it?
Exactly.
That's nothing.
When I say VIP transport, it was like a Maybach van, like a Mercedes van with starlights with a TV.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll insert the clip. And then the hotel was a 5-star Movenpick hotel. Very nice hotel.
Wow. And do they transport you from the hotel to the place?
They transport you from the airport to the hotel.
Yeah.
To the hair transplant, back to the transplant place again the next day, back to the hotel again, back to the airport. All the transport's covered by them.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, for 2.5k, that's. I never thought it'd be that cheap.
Yeah.
And for the results that you get as well,
exactly.
and the service.
The thing is, people pay probably double to triple over here, and the result won't even be as close. People just fail.
So why is Turkey? Because I've seen Turkey advertised quite a lot for the place to go for hair transplants, but I don't understand why they are the leading.
I think they've perfected the craft.
Yeah.
They do it the best. They also did a method called DHI, which was in the middle part.
Yeah.
Which is, I think there's existing hairs, but it just makes it thicker. They use this Choi pen. With that pen, you can only do a certain amount of grafts. I think 700 of the grafts were using that pen.
Right.
And they mixed the DHI method with FUE method. And when I got back here, I told one of the hair transplant people, he's doing PRP for me, where they take your blood and they mix it into some plasma and inject it back into your hair.
Oh, okay.
Into your head. That makes your hair thicker. It makes the results come quicker. It makes your head heal faster.
Yeah.
And when I told him that they did this, he's like, now I know they're a good place. They did both DHI and FUE. They know what they're doing, basically.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That is really, really good. I'm really happy. And it's great that it was so cheap.
Yeah, exactly. People do say, oh, now you've got a fake hairline. What kind of insult is that?
But it's not fake, it's your hair.
Exactly, it's still my hair.
And you're naturally growing it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And it's permanent because the transplanted hair,
yeah.
because it's taken from a DHT resistant place,
It'll always be there.
Yeah, it also becomes DHT resistant, so it becomes permanent.
Whoa. That's insane.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what, right? You're gonna get people, no matter what in life, who are gonna shit on what you do.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, there's nothing more prominent about people's looks, and you're always going to get people that are going to shit on your looks, and like they'll criticize you before about having a receding hairline, even though it's your genetics. It's nothing in your power to do. You couldn't do anything about it. So then you fix it to make yourself feel better, and then they go, "Well, now you got a fake hairline."
Yeah, what kind of stupid insult is that one?
It's just like, get a life, man. You can't be happy for someone.
Yeah.
Let's wait until they start going, thin or even bald. Let's see if they get alopecia or something, and they go completely bald with no eyebrows, and see how they feel. I mean, there are poor people out there with alopecia. Now, I shouldn't say poor people. It's not something to be ashamed about, but those people, they own it. They own it. I was at the beach yesterday, and I saw a lady, she was wearing a bikini. Around other people, other women wearing bikinis, long flowing hair, but this lady had alopecia. She had no eyebrows, no head hair, and she was owning it. And I was like, you know what? That's the kind of person that I'm attracted to. Someone that owns their body. Not necessarily, hairless women, but it's just someone, that kind of personality, that will own their I like, this is who I am, I'll own it. And if I want to change something, like some people with alopecia that wear wigs, good on you. If that's what makes you feel better, good on you. And, good on you, for doing that, because it can be a very intimidating thing. You're going to a foreign country where, like, you hear horror stories all the time about people going abroad and getting procedures done, and coming back and they're worse off than they've ever been. But you researched it, you've done it for you, right? And you feel great for it, and so well done.
Thank you. The word for male pan hair loss is actually called androgenic alopecia.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and you've become educated as well.
Exactly.
You've learned a lot of stuff. So, and you got to think, these are the kind of life experiences that you can take, right? And you can then pass on to someone who was in similar situations.
Exactly.
And that's what life is about. It's about learning and passing that knowledge on, and you can do that now.
Yeah, like I know what to do to block DHT as well now. DHT is the cause of hair loss for men.
Yeah.
If you have too much DHT, which isn't actually a bad thing to have a lot of dehydrotestosterone. Testosterone, it is actually technically a good thing.
Right.
But it's like a double-edged sword.
So if you have too much of it, you boost one thing,
like
sex drive or something.
Like the guy even said to me during the PRP, he's like, it's a good thing we have high testosterone. Because, the mad thing, the guy who does my PRP, he got a hair transplant 6 days after me.
Really?
That was his second one. But he got it from his own clinic that he works at.
Yeah. I'll probably get a discount.
Yeah, maybe even free. But he said that they were filming him get that initial anesthesia.
Yeah.
And he had to turn the camera off. It was that painful.
Really?
Yeah, it really is that painful. I wish people could experience it. Maybe not. Just so they can know.
Yeah. So, what is it, like a big needle or something?
He said it's not so much the size of the needle, but it's because of the acid that spreads.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So
it was the worst probably behind the ears, that bit where the bone is.
Ow.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, tattoos and things around that area, because it's such a sensitive area.
Yeah.
But wow, that really is bad.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, how long did it hurt for?
Like 8 to 10 minutes it takes anesthesia.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 8 to 10 minutes for a lifetime of, ladies.
Yeah. Or men.
Oh,
Joking.
Wow, I'm really happy for you though.
Thank you.
I really, you look great.
Yeah, does it look natural?
I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, a lot of people say that actually.
Yeah.
And this isn't even the final result, so imagine.
I know, right? But I guess now we're having a bit of a heat wave in the UK.
Yeah.
So, like, are you feeling the heat, like, because of the hair on top?
Yeah.
Are you feeling the difference?
Yeah. And I was gonna say, you just said you didn't notice. It's crazy because at work last week there were 2 new employees that started very recently,
Mm.
and my friend had told him, like the other day, that I got a hair transplant. So when I'm walking back from the corridor, I walk into the office, and they're all just staring at me. And I'm confused, so I go up to them, and they're like, and my friend's like, I just told them you got a hair transplant, and they don't believe me. And they were like, because we didn't see you before, we didn't know what it looked like before.
Yeah, yeah.
We couldn't even tell you got a hair transplant, it just looks normal. It just
Yeah.
looks natural. And then I showed them before and after, and they were like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, I guess from a guy's perspective, like from an outsider guy's perspective, you know, when I saw you before, it was just you. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't really go, oh my god, you're going bald. I mean, some people have male pattern hair loss at a younger age.
Yeah.
Some have it at a later age. It's all genetics,
Yeah.
you know, and how your body reacts to it. I think my dad, when was going like that at quite a young age, probably in his like early 30s. He was like how you used to be, you know, like quite thin on top.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think for me, well, I say luckily, like for me, it's I've got more of the Italian root side of it, so I've still got quite a lot of my hair
Yeah.
at 43. So, yeah, but you know, who knows? In the future, if I do start going like uncomfortably thin, I'll pop over to Turkey and
Yeah.
have
You
a
got
5-star.
contact.
Yeah, maybe you can get a repeat discount.
Yeah.
But yeah, but good on you, man. It really goes. And you're looking buff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh
I've
yeah.
been gymming, yeah, man.
Yeah, you're a bit swollen on the arms. What are you
Yeah.
injecting?
I can do this too.
Oh, you can titty bounce.
Yeah.
Nice. I can do that, but I just have to go up and down
Oh.
stairs, you know, like, and they just jiggle.
Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, that was my story where I've been. Let's talk about you because you told me something recently. About
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. The past, I think, maybe year and a half now, I've been on a bit of quite a big lifestyle change, and I've lost weight. I've lost a fair bit of weight, actually. I started off, it was about 21 and a half, 22 stone maybe, because my weight
How
ballooned.
much is that in kg for those that? Should I search it?
I think it's about 130 kg. Yeah, double check it. Yeah, you search my weight. Go on.
140 kg.
140 kg. And now I'm down to 17 stone,
Yeah.
which is about 110 kg.
So you lost about 30 kg.
Yeah,
30 kg,
yeah.
which is a lot. That's like half of me.
Half of you before dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of lost quite a lot of weight, and
How do you feel? Like, do you feel a lot better?
oh yeah, I feel a lot better. It's mostly on like my joints and stuff like that,
Yeah.
my muscles, and
Well, you got to carry around less weight now.
exactly.
These.
Yeah, you know, I just compensated it with Yus's belts, but I needed to do it because I don't know if your viewers know. I can't remember if you remember, but I had a ruptured intestine at one point, and they repaired it. This was going back 4 years, and then I had this. So I nearly died. I had the ruptured intestine. They repaired it, and then afterwards, because they had to cut vertically all down my chest. They have to cut through your abdominal wall, and which weakens it, obviously, when they try to restitch it, and you can develop hernias. And I have developed quite large hernias, one on the front very large one on the side, and I've got a tear down my right side as well. And it was stopping me from doing everything. Because your hernia is not just your abdominal wall bulging. For me, they've ripped and my intestine have come through. So when you see the deformities on the front of my stomach, that's not muscle or skin, that's my intestine has come through that. And it's extremely painful. And like to bend, to get, like when you eat, your whole intestine starts to move, which is normal, to pump the food through. It's like a hose. What comes in one end will come out the other. However, when I eat or anything, because my intestine's bunched up into a ball, it starts to move, it causes a lot of pain, and I can feel it. Like, it's like worms, like giant worms under my stomach, under the skin, and it's a lot worse. It feels a lot worse than it sounds.
Oh damn!
Trust me. So you can't lift anything heavy. You know, I struggle to lift. You know, use his belts around and his codpiece. Nothing. And he's so for what I could do is why I came in as his manager, so to speak. So because I couldn't do very much of anything. And there are some days where it's so painful I can't walk around. You know, I can't stand for very long, or I can't walk for very far, and it really hurts. And the consultant said to me, you know, we could do the surgery to repair it. However, because the weight that you are at that time, because your body's carrying around, your upper torso is carrying around so much weight, it's just going to rip into a hernia again. So you're going to go through all that pain of the surgery, because it's a major surgery to repair. It's a whole abdominal wall reconstruction, and it's very painful. You're going to go through that pain, then you're going to have the recovery, and it's just not going to work anyway. So we need to get you down. We need to get your weight down as quickly, as safely as possible.
Yeah.
And
so what did you do to lose the weight?
So I wish I could take full credit for it, but coincidentally around the same time I got into a relationship with an incredible woman, and very...
So you're cheating on you?
What? No, I never cheat on him. You know, so he's she is she's incredible, and she's so motivational, and she's such a strong rock for me, and she has really helped change. She's inspired me to change my life.
Continue.
So one day, you know, she said about when she wanted to go try Slimming World.
Yeah.
And I always thought those things were kind of like a fad, or like a pyramid scheme. You go there and they just want you to buy loads of stuff of their own brand. And to some extent, it is. You know, they do not force you. They heavily encourage you to buy their own products and books and stuff. But you don't have to. And yeah, and then we got you get access to their app, which has some menus and stuff, and I never really thought it was any good. And I went with her to help her, you know, to support her, and oh my God, it was just like I was eating so much food, more food than I would normally eat. But it was healthier stuff, but nicer stuff than what I would have eaten before.
Lower calories.
Lower calorie stuff. However, like they work it out on a bit like Weight Watchers, on a point-based thing. They call it sins. You have so many sins per thing. So, but you can have an entire meal, like a massive plate of food, like proper food, not like lettuce and a carrot, like proper, like stroganoff or something like that. You know, bologneses, pastas, and it will be completely sin-free. So you can eat as much of it as you want, and then you've still got, like, I think my sin allowance, because they base it on your BMI, your height and everything like that, I think mine was about 15 sins. It was like 15 sins per day, and I was never really going above like 6 or 7, you know. And so, and I would be stuffed with, like, I'll be like, oh man, I can't eat anymore, you know. And so it just, but you just eat regular, and you eat really good food, and it's not food that, like, a special food that you have to buy with their brand on it. No, it's go Tesco, right? Get the ingredients for your meal, and then boom, just cook it. The only difference I say is that's changed, is that instead of buying, say, like processed food, you just buy fresh food.
Yeah, which is always better.
Yeah, it's always better. You know, it's always better, because there's so many chemicals and stuff in the process, and it's those chemicals that messes with your body chemistry, which make you also contain the weight inside you. Yeah. So that's pretty much been my journey. Is I've lost a lot of weight. I feel better, slightly taller because my spine isn't compressed with all the weight that I'm doing. I'm able to do a bit more. My stomach is feeling better. And I believe it's in October now, my consultant said they're going to do their final MRI on my abdomen to finalize how they're going to do the surgery, because it's apparently a big job, and then they've okayed the surgery to get repaired, and once that gets repaired, I should be a lot better in getting up and running, literally.
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker?
I am, actually. I'm quite. Funny you mention this. I said this yesterday. Like, there's very little things in life that I'm snobby about, but coffee, I like a good, nice quality coffee.
Yeah. Morning time?
Morning. Yeah, mostly morning, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, morning coffee is the best for you as well.
Really?
There was a study, and it said they compared people that drank coffee early in the morning, compared to all-day drinkers.
Yeah.
And the percentage of mortality for early morning coffee drinkers was way bigger. Like, all-day coffee drinkers, they had no difference. But morning coffee drinkers, they had a big difference. Like, cardiovascular disease shot down by 30%.
Wow.
All the rest of mortality is shot down like 27%.
Wow, that's great. Well, I'll definitely have to make sure I drink a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
I like my coffee
black?
Strong, black, with 2 sugars. Not like that.
Yeah.
Sweet, black, and strong. No.
Yeah. I normally have coffee at work as well in the morning.
Yeah.
It normally helps me as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So tell me about this, because it's been quite a while. It's been a minute since we've seen each other. Tell me about your this job that you've got.
Yeah. So I work at an employment tribunal, first of all.
Employment tribunal. Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are courtrooms, there are judges. We deal with all of this, the parties. I'm an administration officer and a tribunal clerk.
Mm-hmm.
So we process, like, the admin side of the complaints from the parties. We can list hearings.
Yeah.
Then we can also, if it's an in-person hearing, we can go bring in the parties to the judge, set up the recording for the judge, and do all of that. It's a 9 to 5, but our timing is actually quite flexible, where we can come in at between 8 and 10, so it doesn't have to be 9.
As long as you get your work done.
Yeah. And as long as you do your 37 hours a week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weekly pay, which is good. And it is. I used to think 9 to 5s would be like boring. I just didn't. I thought it'd be. I would hate it.
Yeah.
But it actually gives you a very good routine.
Yeah, yeah.
You still get your evenings free, weekends free, obviously. I do prefer the weekdays over the weekends, because the weekends I feel like there's too much rush everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to have your weekdays free. And the best thing about this job is the people that we work with, because half the office at this point is like our friends.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun at work. I mean,
see, a court is not really somewhere where I think that it has a fun working environment.
You'll be surprised. I'll show you some videos after this. You'll be like, what the actual fuck is going on? But we have a lot of fun, and luckily our manager is great. Like our managers, they understand that you're not a robot. You can't just sit at your desk and work non-stop. They allow you. You should be allowed to talk with your colleagues.
Yeah.
Get up every now and then. I get up a lot. I don't sit down. Every like 10 minutes I'm up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good, because I would hate to just be stuck at my desk all day.
Yeah,
that would suck.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I guess now that you have to use screens a lot, you can get free eye tests.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So, do you get any perks for the job?
Yeah, my badge is pretty cool.
Your badge? You got a badge?
Yeah.
What, like an actual metal badge, or is it an ID card?
So it's an ID card, but
Right.
it's cool because of what it says, and it has my picture. It's like HM Courts and Tribunal.
Ah,
Yeah.
see.
HMCTS.
Nice.
So
anything with your picture on is good anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you. It's a good flex to have when you're walking the streets. And also, I love wearing like the work clothes. We just looks. I feel like we look so sophisticated.
yeah.
It makes you feel more confident. Like the work clothes, we have nice work clothes. This is actually one of my work clothes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? I can't remember who said it, but it's like, it may have been, I can't remember, there was a famous wrestler, it wasn't Ric Flair, but he basically said, like, you got to dress, you know.
I think it was Rick Flair, yeah.
Was it Ric? Yeah,
Yes.
like, I know Ric Flair, like, kind of had this, like, suits and designer suits all the time, but he's, you know, if you dress the part, you feel the part,
Exactly.
and that comes across, and then you know, people notice that.
Yeah, that's why, like, me and you nowadays, even when we're not working, you'll still find us in our work clothes sometimes.
Yeah.
And we have so many, like, we ordered, like, some of the best work clothes recently.
Yeah, from Temu?
No, this one's a company called Maoist. It's quite low-key. It's like Zara, but better.
Oh,
But
okay.
less people know about it. It's only online. Sometimes they have pop-up shops in London, but they're actually very good.
Oh, well, yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
So how did you come across with that?
So first my sister started working there.
Yeah.
Then she referred my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother referred me.
Huh?
And I referred my friend.
You didn't refer me.
Yeah, you can join.
Well, you could refer Aiden and get him off his ass for a few minutes.
Yeah, but he would just quit.
Yeah, he would.
I think I did actually mention it to him, but I don't think he's...
No, Aiden doesn't work.
No.
At all. Yeah.
Video games are free to him. That's Aiden's good at that.
Yeah. If he had a job that was sitting around sulking and playing a video game, you know, and
Maybe he'd be a good Twitch streamer.
yeah, but then he'd have to talk,
Mm.
you know. And Aiden's great at yelling at the screen, and just rage quitting or saying how something is a glitch when they're blatantly not, you know, or cheating. But no, he is.
I think you can only help someone so much. They have to kind of do it on their own. Like, even if I was to give him this job, it's up to him to keep the job. Like, I referred my friend recently, and the first few weeks he was starting to annoy me because he was taking the piss so much. And I was like, it's going to make me look bad. It's going to make my reputation in front of the managers look bad. Ever since, he has definitely gone a lot better. Like, he takes his work a lot more serious. He would absolutely take the piss at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, without going into too much detail, I mean, I wanted to help Aiden get into work, and I I bought him a new moped.
Yeah.
And I said, on the condition, I will buy you this moped. And it was a very nice moped, very expensive.
Yeah, I've seen it. And he told me it's like, he told me the price, I won't say.
Yeah, it was very pricey. It took a huge chunk out of my money. And I got him a moped, and I said on one condition.
Yeah.
One condition. You use the moped to expand your job search area. Because before, his excuse was, I can't apply for this job or that job because it's too far and the buses aren't regular and okay.
I get his point, but at the same time, there's people that will travel far for a job.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's also just an excuse.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, he would use buses and trains and stuff to go watch football.
Yeah, if you can do that, then why can't you do it for a job?
Exactly. But regardless, got tired of that excuse.
Yeah.
So I said, I will buy you this moped, right? But you will use it to look for work and expand your job search area. And he's like, yes, absolutely, please. So I bought him the moped and didn't hear back from him in a couple months, maybe. Maybe the odd text, but we used to talk every day. And then all of a sudden I just hardly heard from him. But he would always be like off going to, now he can ride the moped to go watch football or go out with his mates or, go to his shops and, but when I'll be saying to him, have you searched for any jobs or have you done anything? Oh, no, there's nothing online, I can't find anything. And I was like, right, would you like me to help you look for something if you tell me what kind of parameters you want to look for? No, I can do it. Okay. And then I'll say to him, because I'm renovating my house and got a lot of work to do, and it's so hard because of my stomach. I can't lift things very well. I can't bend too much. I'd have to do a little bit of a job and stop because the physical, really hurts. And I'd say to him, like, Aidan, would you mind coming to give me a hand? I'll pay you to come and help me. And he'd be like, oh, no, I'm far too busy. Oh, great. What are you doing? I'm going to go watch football. Oh, okay. When are you free next then? Maybe you can help me then. Well, and he'll be like, say, the beginning of May. He'll go, oh, I've got like one date available in June that I can help.
He's looking like he has a busy schedule.
You know what I mean? It's like, hold on.
Yeah. You don't have a job.
It's like, what's got you so busy?
Yeah.
And I said this to him, what's got you so busy that you can't come and help me after everything I've done for you? And he'd be like, oh, well, this day I've got, I'm going to see my mates or doing this. I'm paraphrasing here, but this day I'm going out to watch the women football. This day I'm going to watch the men football, and it's always the same every week. So if he filled up 3 or 5 of his days going cinema or watching football, whether it's watching it on TV or watching it live in person, going out to I don't know, like he just went to see Jeff Dunham, live, and it's like, okay, I get, and maybe some of these things, like tickets, he doesn't pay for. Maybe someone has a spare ticket or whatever, which is great. But then you've still got your travel, and you're still taking up time out of your day when a family member who supported you needs your help for very, very good reasons. And you're choosing to ignore that, to do what you want to do. And it's okay to do what you want to do for a little bit, but we're talking over a year now.
Yeah.
Nearly a year. And it's like, well, hold on a second. You're sitting on a $2,500 sofa, which I gave him, right? Playing the £400 Xbox, which I bought him, riding around on a very expensive moped, which I bought him, and now I need your help. You're like, well, maybe I can see you in a couple of months for a few hours. Nah, that's not. Nah, yeah, and yeah. I mean, I didn't plan to go into a rant about Aiden, but you know, Aiden is. It's just so disappointing that he just finds excuses for things.
You know what? He gave you excuses, right? You know what he says to me?
What?
On the day after we plan something, and it finally comes the day. It's like the hour before. He says, "CBA."
Really?
Yeah, that's what he says to me. So that's why I don't really make plans with him often anyway. But ever since I started this job, I haven't really been linking with a lot of my friends anyway. So I don't really see Aiden often as it is. Obviously, I kind of quit YouTube for a while too when I started the job.
Yeah.
So I prioritized quite a lot of videos because a lot of them, some of them are funny, a lot of them are cringe. I think the best videos for me to go and watch back are probably travel logs because it's like you're reliving the moment.
Yeah.
Like you're reliving those memories. But yeah, when he hits me with a CBA, like I ask him, okay, why can't you come? You're backing out again, like last minute. He's like, yeah, I just CBA.
And what he doesn't seem to understand, and I don't mean it like specifically for Aiden, but people like this, is that if they're not working and you are, your time, your free time is more precious and more valuable than theirs because your free time is there every day.
Yeah. That's
there, you know, I wake up, I got nothing to do today. And then, you know, or I've got an appointment to go to today. That's not, you know, that's not you having like a big job to do, right? When you're working, you know, it's hard to fit in timings for shopping, for leisure time, even just time to relax and unwind. Going to the gym, coming to a podcast studio, you know, it's precious time that you're setting aside.
Even like the editing for this afternoon.
Exactly. You know, this is, I mean, so for you to say to Aiden, right, would you like to do this? Yes. Okay, I've locked that in my time schedule for you, right, to do. It'll be good to meet up. You're looking forward to it because you haven't seen them and to unwind and enjoy the activity. And then right before you're due to do it, you ready to do it? Can't be asked. Well, I'm too tired from doing all the nothing that I've been doing to actually value your time.
Yeah.
And that's a real kick in the balls, you know, to have that. And it for me it's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And again, it's like that's just a general statement. It's not just specifically about Aiden, but I do tend to associate that with Aiden because it, you know, and the sad thing is that I lost a friend of mine, a very, very, very dear friend of mine recently. And she was 45 and she died. She just dropped dead, blood clot. And she has 4 kids, youngest being 7 years old. And she had mobility issues. And the sad thing is that although she had a lot of physical disabilities, she would still get up in the morning and take her kids to school and come back. And she would do what she could. And she'd make the most of what she could. And the stuff that she didn't, you know, sometimes I'd take her out and I'd do things and try and help her. And you know, because of her lack of mobility, she developed a blood clot which travelled up to her lung and in her heart, and dead, instant death. And I was crushed, absolutely crushed, because I spoke to her a few hours before, and Aidan knew her as well. And the thing is that she, when she passed, she was trying to better her life. She was trying to get more mobile, and then and then I look at Aidan, who's got no physical disabilities, and sometimes, and I say to him, like, if you just sit around and do nothing all day, you don't do anything. I don't class going to a shop as doing something. I don't class going to a doctor's appointment as doing something. Get up, do something, even like not massive, but slowly build yourself up. Right, tomorrow I want to go out for, I don't know, a 2-mile walk. Yeah, get the sunshine, the vitamin D in your system. Because as you know, like, vitamin D is huge in terms of your mental health. Massive. It's really important,
especially in this country where there's not much sun.
Exactly. So get up, do that, come back. At least you've done that today.
Yeah.
And you start to feel better. Or go to the gym, because he used to love going to the gym.
Yeah.
Go to the gym, and get them endorphins flowing.
Yeah.
You feel great after a workout.
100%. Right? I've asked him a few times as well to come gym. It's just CBA every time.
Yeah. He'd rather sit in, and now he's piled on a lot of weight, and which is nothing, because he can lose it. He loses weight quickly, so it's nothing. But it's a physical sign of what he's not doing. He's not taking.
Yeah.
He's not.
I think I hate it when I see people that have potential. They have so much potential and they just don't bother.
Exactly.
Like, that friend I was talking about that I referred to my job, he's kind of the same way. Like, I see so much potential in him, and I keep telling him, and he knows it as well.
Yeah.
But he says it himself. I'm just too lazy to do it. Like, he once ate like 12 potato chips in one go. Sometimes his breakfast is just potato chips.
Wow.
And he kind of trolls, but I'm also telling him, like, he trolled for so long. And the thing is, he has a lot of facial fat. We tell him, me and my friends, if he lost that facial fat, he would be like a Leng guy. Like, he would generally be good looking.
Just your type, right?
Yes. No, I'm joking. No, but that's what I mean, like, potential. Like, there's so many people that have potential, and I was the same for a while. Like, I was stuck in this spot where I was, even when I wasn't working, I was always training, going to a gym.
You were active, you were doing stuff.
I had more time to, I guess, cook for myself and eat the right stuff. Now it's harder, but I still go to the gym. I still find the time. I still eat mostly right.
Yeah.
But I was also making content as well. Like, I was always trying to do something, make something of myself.
Yeah.
Like, I had more time for the content. That's why you saw more uploads. And now I'm working 9 to 5, obviously you see less content. But I actually prefer it this way. This way I can make the best content possible, because
better quality.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas then it was just like push out the content.
Yeah.
Now I can actually spend my time on the content and make sure it's quality over quantity.
Yeah. I completely agree. And there's something. I mean, I'll be completely honest. There are days where my mental health drops, and there are days where I just, I feel like I don't want to do anything, and I don't want to go out, and I don't want to see people, and I just feel rotten. And because when you have a lot of stuff going on in your life, and you're having to deal with that all on your own, it can be very daunting and stressful. And some days you just want to go, I don't want to face the world today.
Yeah.
And there are points in your life where you just close the curtains and go, I'm done, go away. But then it's about climbing up out of that ditch that tells you about the character of the person. And so, I mean, there are times where I, like Aidan, has been doing, well, I don't want to do anything. I CBA because I just don't want to face the world. But then there are, I try not to let myself get into that space, because for me it's I have to try and stay active, or you just overthink.
Yeah.
And that's when, once you get inside your own head, that's a very fast spiral downwards.
100%.
And it's like, going down is a lot quicker than going up.
Yeah.
It's harder to go up.
It's easier to fall, it's harder to climb.
Exactly. And it's, it can be very daunting. Because the higher you climb, the further you can fall. And that's I know it's a bit deep, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It is. But it's all about surrounding yourself with the right people as
100%.
well. Because nobody is strong all the time.
No one's perfect.
No, and when there's times like that where you have friends that you can phone up and go, right, I'll phone that person. I know I feel good after I talk to them. Like when I massage Yoss's feet and we get his feet massaged, it gives me pleasure.
Yeah.
Rubbing his neck and getting his neck rubbed. Like with the oils and the candles and the strong neck.
What are we talking about again?
I don't know.
I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, but it's about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And making sure that those people are there for you, that you can trust them.
Yeah.
And and like with Aiden, I love him, I do, but sometimes I just want to strangle him. I really do, but I do love him.
Kayfabe or real life?
As a shoot, I want to strangle him.
Yeah. I would say, I know this sounds cliche, but I feel like the gym is where everything stems from. Like, the gym is like the most important in my opinion, because everything comes from there. If you can have the discipline to go to the gym, eat right, then you can have discipline in other parts of life as well. I feel like everything starts in the gym, for me at least.
Whose gym?
No, but on a real, it's crazy because most people have to force themselves to go to the gym. I have to force myself to not go to the gym sometimes, because I go too much.
Yeah.
I go almost every day, and sometimes you're supposed to take a rest day. I'm not good at those.
No.
I'll just end up at the gym again.
You just feel twitchy if you don't do it.
Yeah, restless. I'm hyperactive.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously it's a good thing, I can't complain. But yeah, I need to learn to sometimes take a rest.
Yeah, you can overdo it.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I got some rib injuries as well, and the doctor was like, just rest for a week. I was like, oh, week?
Yeah. It's one of those things though, if you do anything to excess, it will become a problem.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So you work out too much, and then you get injured, and then you can't work out, and then it's harder to start working out again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, what else is coming off? Do you want to talk about the belts, or are you?
What about?
Introduce them, or to say what they are, or do you want to do anything in Kayfabe, or?
These are wrestling belts. I don't know. I feel like we should leave that for a separate video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do like a whole...
Yeah.
Bring them all in and start.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could even show off your collection.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could do something like that. I feel like that'd be better in a vlog form.
Yeah.
Rather than a podcast. I feel like the podcast is better for the vocal.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah, I can do a vlog at home and send it through to you if you like.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Yeah. So, what do you feel? What else has been happening? How's the family?
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I think the main shift for me was when I joined this 9 to 5.
Yeah.
My perspective on things.
Yeah. You definitely seem more level, more grounded and mature, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, I think you know what it is. Me and my friend, it's that same guy that I referred. I keep bringing him up, but we have this joke where the old me was WAS 1.0 and this now is WAS 2.0. And he keeps saying, I prefer WAS 1.0. He was a good YouTuber. He was entertaining.
Oh, please.
But I tell him, I killed Wes 1.0. That guy doesn't exist.
Get a death match and he's gone.
Yeah. Wes 1.0 should never come back.
You know, he was
unhinged.
Yeah, well, I think he was just a bit too free. You know, now you feel like you've got a purpose, you've got a direction, and you're much more focused.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like, you know, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do this. And you feel much more focused now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And any news on the girlfriend or wife front, or is there something you want to talk about?
I don't know if we can mention.
Is there any talk of maybe arranged marriages for your family?
Not anymore. After you married his cousin and divorced.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that anymore. So
Right.
I'm kind of glad that happened though.
Yeah. Well, not for him, but.
Well, maybe not for him, but.
Yeah. But I mean, it's an experience, isn't it? It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good that they've they're take that pressure off and.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. Yeah. I mean, I'm about 18 months into my relationship.
Yeah.
And you know, I've honestly, I know it's a cliche, but I've honestly never been this happy.
Yeah.
With I feel so relaxed in this relationship. I trust her. As you know, I've had horrific relationships in the past, like that have really, really screwed me over. But this lady, she's got her head switched on. She's very successful, and more importantly, she loves me just for who I am. And you know, I don't think I've ever had that. I've always been with a woman that's, yes, women, not men. I've always been with women. I've always seemed to have got with women who wanted something out of me.
Yeah.
Whether it be take care of me, pay my bills, you know, look after me, you know, take me places, become a taxi driver, you know. This one, she's very open. She was like, I don't want you for anything. I don't need you, but I love you.
That's actually rare because you know they say only women and children are loved unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Men are only loved under a condition that they provide something.
Exactly.
So that is rare to find, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, and
because you know why as well, because of social media. The girls nowadays have such a high expectation.
Oh yeah, it's like
social media. It's like, oh, you should own a mansion. You should own a farm.
Don't measure me unless you've got a good car and you can pay my bills. And yeah, to be honest, like I mean, I think it's right to expect that in a relationship you're both 50-50 contributors. But I never had that. I was always 100% contributor. I would, like, one ex that I got with, you know, we moved in together and I was paying the full rent, I was paying her bills, I was paying her shopping, I was paying, you know, and that's my fault because I allowed that to happen, you know, but she kind of twisted it around and kind of manipulated the situation, but that wasn't my fault. But I am, now that I'm aware, now that I learned that lesson twice, my last ex was, don't get me started, but now that I've learned that lesson, if I ever go back to that, to being that way, that is then on me.
Yeah.
And I've got no one to blame but myself for that. And I will never go back to that. And that's why, with my current partner, we are so 50-50. She does stuff for me, I do stuff for her. We don't have to ask people. We don't have to ask to do it. They just do it. Or, you know, she enjoys being around me, and I love being around her. You know, and she's very busy. You know, like yourself, she works really long hours, but she also works her 9-to-5 job. She's a teacher. She's the head of music at a private school, so it's very demanding, very busy job. and so her time is very precious. She has a lot more free. I have a lot more free time than she does, so I tend to be more accommodating because I want to be. But at the same time, when she does have free time and she has it with me, I value that.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself how valuable your free time can be now. And she's funny, she takes the piss out of me, I take the piss out of her. We have this great banter, we have this great friendship, and it's just effortless. The relationship is effortless.
Yeah, I think you made a good point about how now my time is more valuable. Because I feel like the West 1.0, if you would have asked him to do a podcast, he would be like, yeah, let's do it tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas this one, I'd be like, okay, next week, maybe the week after, I'd find the right time.
Exactly. Now you have to look at your schedule.
Yeah.
West
1.0, let's do it tonight. I'll edit it throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
I'll get it out in the morning.
And then I'll let you know like when I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon if you can when we watch it. But
yeah.
No, but I'm proud of you. I really am genuinely proud of you. You're looking great. You can really see your personality's come out. You got your head screwed on tighter now.
Yeah.
And your hair.
Even after all those chair shots.
Exactly. But when Mr. Yus comes back into the frame, he'll loosen that neck up for you. Maybe rip that head off. He can now hold your head up by your hair. Yeah.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
Anyway, West Nation, it's been good to be back.
It has.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. And it's good to see you. You at the screen there.
Well, him. That one there.
No, I don't. Well, he's alright, but he's a bit mouthy.
Oh.
But I like this one.
Okay, fair enough.
That one right there. You see that one?
Mm.
The one in his boxers. I like that one.
Oh, makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not much of a YouTuber anymore, so I'll say the usual lines that come in the end. Leave a like, comment down below, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. I'm more of a TikToker nowadays.
Yeah?
Have you seen my TikTok?
I've not, no.
I'm going to have to send you my TikTok. Do you have the TikTok app?
I've got the app, yeah. You don't dance or something, do you?
No. Okay. I kind of make like mini vlogs. Like I feel because TikTok is short form content. Yeah. I feel like maybe I'm somewhat bad at that as well. People tend to like my TikTok, so
yeah, because it's so much more convenient on the go.
You can
exactly. Just do it on the go. Yeah. Oh, don't. Do you know what? Very quick story. Yeah. 2-3 days ago, I was driving and slowly. I was in traffic and I'm turning into this side road. And as I turn into the side road, I can see these pedestrians with their selfie stick doing a TikTok as they're walking along the road. Right? They've come up to the junction. I'm turning into the junction, and they've literally just walked straight out into the road with like a few feet in front of my car. So I've slammed on my brakes to avoid hitting them. So I'm slamming on the brakes, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? That's Darwinism. People like that get wiped off the face of the planet, And then, what's even worse is while I'm sitting there, right, with these two idiots walking, like, standing in front of my car with their TikTok going on, they've, all I hear, right, I'm sitting there for like a few seconds, and all I hear is, boom! I'm like, what the hell? I look round, and there's one of these idiots with them electric cycles just ploughed straight into the side of my car. Just didn't even see the car stop there. And then just boom, straight into the side of my car. And I'm like, what the hell? I get out, I go round, and he's trying to ride off.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, but the chain has come off the bike and everything, and it's not going. And he's like, oh, you stopped in front of a cyclist. I'm like, my car was stopped. Are you kidding me? Then I'm like, you wait there. I need to see the damage to my car. And he's like, there's no damage to your car. And I look round and I'm seeing there's no damage, right? But I need to take his details because it's still a collision. And he just cycles off.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I had hit him and rode off, you bet I'll be reported to the police. I would have to. He would claim off my insurance. Yeah. But if he had damaged my car and rode off, Or those idiots walk out in front of my car and I hit them, right?
Because an electric bike, there's no number plate either, is there? So
no, it's nothing. And you know, but although those idiots with their TikTok just walk straight out in front of the car, if I had hit them,
yeah,
you bet they'll be claiming off my insurance,
yeah,
right? Even though they're at fault. But there's no protection anymore for the driver. I mean, I get there's some idiot drivers, and you know, but if you're actually obeying the rules of the road, and then people who don't have to, you know, feel they don't have to obey the rules, they can just claim off you.
Yeah.
It's a horrible culture.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of need a dash cam at this point.
I've got dash. It was on my dash cam. Yeah, I had front and rear dash cams. But still, you know, I'll provide that to my insurance company, right? And then they will still claim off my insurance for injuries or whatever. And that cyclist that run off, well, who am I going to claim against? Even if he goes, I'm not going to give you my details, and just decides to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole cycle pedestrian thing is just a nightmare. I'm a safe driver. You know, I get criticised a lot for driving at the speed limit. So, and I was aware of these TikTokers, which is why I was able to slam on the brakes with only a few, literally like 2 feet, when they just walked straight out. That's how slow I was going.
Yeah.
You know, but if I was going faster or not paying attention, they'd be under my car.
Yeah.
And whose fault would that be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant over. That's, you know, but good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
Yeah.
I think maybe you'll see us soon in a wrestling format.
Mm-hmm.
I do think backyard wrestling is more taxing on your body than an actual ring. Because the ring is made for wrestling, taking bumps. The backyards are not made for taking bumps, so I feel like maybe that's why we kind of stopped that too. But realistically, if I was to go back to wrestling, I think it would be bedroom wrestling, because it's just the least taxing on your body. It's probably the most fun too.
Or we can rent a ring.
Yeah, I feel like that should be the goal. Like,
I reckon that might be the route to go.
Because that way people will take you more seriously. And it will just look the best. A wrestling ring is made for wrestling.
Yeah.
So that would be the place to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be that expensive to rent a ring. Yeah. But you need the subscribers and Patreon to help you out.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh.
I'm not saying anything. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll do this another time again.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Bring on Use. You probably haven't seen him in a while. You're probably missing him.
No, I've saw him last night. It's okay, you didn't see me. I was looking through his window. I meant, hi.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, we should probably go.